was Halloween on the island of Sodor, and all the engines were excited. They loved this time of year. It was also at this time of the year that the fog would begin to roll in from the sea, so Brendam docks would get very misty in the evening. One day, the Fat Controller came to Tidmouth Sheds. He found Edward, Percy and James. "Salty has had to go to the diesel works for repairs. Edward, Percy, I need you to do his work at Brendam docks tonight. There's a big shipment coming in. You'll need to work extra hard." "On Halloween?" cried Percy. He was scared of the mist. "Don't worry, there's nothing to fear." James saw this as an opportunity. "Don't tell me you're scared, Percy. There's nothing to be afraid about fog." "Then you wouldn't mind going to Brendam docks and giving them a hand then, James," said the Fat Controller. "Yes, sir," said James. At the docks, the 3 engines worked hard, and soon everything was ready for the shipment. But soon they got word that the fog had slowed the ship right down, so they had to wait. While they waited, Edward decided to tell the 2 engines a spooky story. The story of the monster of Brendam. And they do say that the monster slipped back into the ocean and has only been seen on foggy nights, just like tonight. Percy's wheel shivered. It would really come tonight?" "Pah!" said James. "Load of nonsense, all of it. Now if there's one thing Percy and James can do together, it's argue, and Edward had just about had enough. "Right, I'm going to go and shunt those coal trucks. You 2 can wait for the ship." "Yes, sir," said James, as Edward went on his way. But Percy was still scared. "Oh, I hate working at Brendam at nights. When I'm on my own in this fog, I imagine all sorts of creatures hiding." "Pah!" said James. "Monsters, beasties, ghosts, they're all rubbish." But what about Edward's tales?" said Percy. "They're all phooey," said James. "Percy, you'll believe anything, whereas I like to keep things to the ground, as they say." "Is that why you bought some bootlaces?" teased Percy. "Don't be cheeky," said James. But between you and me, I think James was getting nervous himself. That ship should be here soon." Just then they heard a loud knocking noise. "What's that noise?" said Percy. It's the monster." "Nah," said James. "It can't be. It doesn't exist." I know," said James, putting a brave face on. Let's go and see if Edward needs a hand." Just then they heard the noise again. "Ah!" said Percy. What was that?" It sounds like it came from behind us," said James. Let's go and have a look." And the 2 engines did. When they found the noise, they found there was only an old shed door being slammed open in the wind. "Oh, it's creepy," said James. Let's get back and watch for the ship." "Wait for me," said Percy. "I'm not staying here on my own." "Come on, James," said Percy. "Don't just stand there," he said. But James was too scared to move. "Look!" he shouted. "It's the monster of Brendam!" shouted Percy. "It's come here to get us! Ah!" And without saying another word, they ran back to find Edward. Edward, please help us!" shouted Percy. "It's the sea monster. He's come to get us," said James. "It's as big as a boat," said Percy, "and it's going to eat us." Aye, he's right," said James. "As big as a boat." Well, everyone knows there's no such thing as a sea monster, or the monster of Brendam. But Edward knew he wouldn't be able to get back to work until he went and took a look. There's your sea monster, laughed Edward. It's a fog light making a shadow of the breakdown crane. Yes, of course, bluffed James. I knew it all along. It was Percy who was scared. But Percy saw the funny side of it. I can't believe we were scared of a shadow, he said. Yeah, said James. It'll take more than a shadow to scare me. Ah! Shouted James and ran away. He ran away so fast that he didn't realise there was one of the ships blowing their horns. Edward and Percy laughed and they laughed and they laughed. But as for James, he didn't stop running until he reached Tidmer's sheds. And you know what? He stayed in the shed all night. But hopefully he'll think twice before teasing Percy again.